everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Radio Mondas, a new podcast series on the channel. Well, it's not new anymore, it's just episode 2. We've already had it, it's in the past now.
Episode 2 is still new, though, isn't it?
It's relatively new, I suppose, yeah. Today I'm here with the wonderful Wingy Media. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Great. Glad to have you on.
Yes, yeah, well, to be fair, this is like, how many times have we done the podcast-esque thing at this point? We did my podcast, we did your charity stream. So third time.
I think this must be the third. Yeah, because I went on yours, the Just Wing It. I think that's the right one anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God. And then the sort of charity live stream, which I did in December, you appeared on that. And that was only like an hour, so that was a very sort of concise, very shortened down version of like a proper podcast. Whereas now it's just a sort of relaxed type thing. We can just sit and just talk about stuff. I think we'll start with your channel, though. For someone who I don't know why they wouldn't, but for someone who might not know who you are, would you like to describe sort of who you are, what your channel's about, all that sort of thing?
I always struggle with this question because I instantly just don't remember who I am. But basically, I do majority like Doctor Who videos, but I do other stuff as well. I'm opinionated. I tend to talk more about classic Who, so yeah, because a lot of people tend to talk about the new series. Well, you of course is somebody who's like, oh, the new stuff that's coming out of the next series. Where I'm just like, yeah, but do you remember the stuff from 40 years ago?
I'll just go for whatever's not even happened yet. I'm trying to go ahead of the curve, opposed to even talking about new stuff.
Series 14 news.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I think it's good to have that classic, though, because at the same time there are a lot of classic fans out there still. You know, it's not like it's a slower market, but I suppose with YouTube and sort of news and all that sort of thing, new Who is naturally going to drive in a few younger audiences anyway. Yeah. But I think it's great to have that for classic as well, though. I feel personally, I love the fact, because I know there's a few channels out there, you being one of them. There's another one I think called Lord Slar. Brilliant. Yeah. And it's just great to get that sort of classic Who stuff as well, because I don't do much classic Who. I mean, I've sort of dribbled upon it. I've done bits and bats here and there. When I watch one, I'll do a review of it. But I struggle with the review type stuff. I don't like to I don't really like to pick a side when it comes to reviews, so I find it quite difficult on that side, where I kind of, especially with classic Who as well, because as someone who's a new Who fan, to suddenly jump back on classic Who and then start, I feel bad about giving my opinion on something that people have been known for years, and it's something that can be touchy with a few people I know. So
I know what you mean, though, because with classic Doctor Who, because it's been out for so long, like more or less everyone's general opinion has already been formed, whereas with the newer stuff, as it comes out each episode, everyone's sort of just like, did I like that, did I not? Whereas if you say something like, oh, well, Genesis of the Daleks was shit, pitchforks everywhere.
Oh, I mean,
I'll be with them, but it's
fair enough.
Yeah, it is one of those things where, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I did talk about classic Who as well, because there are people out there who have grown up with the new series and don't really know too much about the classic series, so I try and do videos to sort of talk. Yeah. I think the last Doctor Who video I did was about like hidden gem Doctor Who stories from the classic era, so in each Doctor's era, so hopefully somebody will watch that and just be like, oh, well, I always wanted to watch a Colin Baker story, so I'll check out the one that Wingy just said. So
yeah, I mean, you recommended to me when I put I think it was on Twitter like last year, you said watch City of Death, and I still haven't got around to it yet. I need to.
Still haven't? That was ages ago.
It's like a year ago. I need to, yeah, but I'm balancing between loads of different stuff at the minute. I'm currently working my way through the War Master Big Finish.
Oh, right, okay, I've not heard that.
Which,
it's Derek Jacobi, isn't it?
Derek Jacobi, yeah. Now, I loved his contribution in Utopia, and I thought I always wanted to go. To Big Finish, there's so much of it, and it's obviously debatable whether or not how canon some of the content is. But I always thought, like, if I ever start with it, I really want to go for like the Derek Jacobi stuff, because I really want to see what he'd be like with, more time as the Master, not a professor, but the Master, because you only got about 5 minutes of being the Master.
Probably not even that.
Boy, yeah, exactly. Before he got shot by that Smurf and turned into I can't remember what the race was, so I'm not even going to try and pretend. So
Chantho or something. Oh no, that was the name on it.
Wait, yeah, that was the name, but I don't know what Oh,
I love that episode as well, and I can't think what it is.
fantastic! It's a brilliant episode.
Do you know, someone said to me the other day, "Oh, Derek Jacobi's my favourite master." I just thought, how? And this was before the audios came out as well.
Wait,
So
what?
I was just like, how the hell is he your favourite master?
Yeah, I could see like after the audios came out because he's had quite a few now. Like he's got 2 box sets of his own, and then like he's appeared in he's probably like Ravenous 27,000 or some whatever. There's loads of them, but he's appeared in big finishes left, right, and centre. But I've only listened to the first one so far, and it's pretty good. And I'm not. It's difficult because I'm not really an audio story type person, but he really does capture that performance, and it's such a shame that we were kind of robbed of that because I would have loved to have seen him have a bit more, I don't know, a bit more screen time as the Master because he really seems to capture it.
Yeah,
that general feel of it.
It's a similar sort of thing with Paul McGann though as the Doctor, because I mean the TV movie isn't necessarily well regarded, but he's the best part of it, and it is just as I mean even the mini-sode as well, Night of the Doctor, like I just saw that and I was like, why didn't we have more McGann? But
well, I mean, there's always hints and sort of there's always possibilities. He's always said he'd be up to do it again. He just doesn't want to go out of his way to sort of throw anything towards him because naturally he wants to give the current Doctor their best shot at the role. He doesn't want to sort of tarnish that. I mean, not to be humble, but I think that's totally fair. If fans have been wanting McGann for ages and a new Doctor suddenly shows up and McGann was like, hey, I'll do a spin-off, it's like, well, fans are going to instantly flock towards McGann because they already know of him. And
it would be a bit of a piss take, especially kind of with the whole thing with Jodie Whittaker as well. If they suddenly said, here's your new Doctor, it's a woman for the first time, but don't worry, we're also doing a series with a man who you like over here. So that could potentially be a massive alert for the BBC. But I don't know, I hope at some point they do it. I mean, maybe if Doctor Who goes on some sort of hiatus again, then maybe,
well, that's always a thing. I don't think Doctor Who, and this is just a bit of a hot take, but I don't think Doctor Who will have a proper sort of hiatus again, really. I feel like even if it does, Big Finish will always be making stuff. They'll always be animating classic stuff. The BBC will always be fun. I mean, even if the main show doesn't get that kind of reception anymore, which at the moment it's perfectly fine. I mean, people talk about ratings and all that sort of thing. I hate to get involved with it, but generally, like, even the sort of very, very low ratings of like the late Capaldi era, they're still not bad for like modern day television, because with online demand and Netflix and stuff, TV shows do not get anywhere near as many sort of viewers as they used to. So I think it's been great that Jodie's first series has managed to capture that a little bit. It'll probably, by series 12, it'll definitely be down to where probably series 10 was for Capaldi again. But I don't mind that because really, and I didn't think series 11 was that good, but I thought, at least the ratings have no sort of stance on how good a TV show is.
No,
really,
exactly. You can absolutely hate something, but people in their droves watch it, and the exact opposite of that as well. So as long as you, the individual, likes it, then I don't suppose it really makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So last time you were on here on this channel, it was the Christmas sort of live stream type thing, and that was the week. I think it was the weekend after the Battle of Ranskor Kolos.
Oh, is that what it's called? I still can't pronounce that. I've been trying the last year to try and pronounce it. That's why I've never mentioned it in a video, because I don't even know how to say it. I couldn't talk about it if I wanted to.
I think I'm one of the few. I think I'm one of the very, very few who can still remember the name of that.
I can say Raxacora Cephalopatorius, dead easy, but the Battle of
Ranskor.
Ranskor
of Kolos.
Al-Qaeda, whatever it's called. Yeah. Can I say that? I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll glaze over it.
Fix it in post. Good luck. So, but after that, of course, came Resolution. Have you seen Resolution? Yeah.
No.
You haven't seen Resolution yet?
I haven't yet, because basically my mate Dan said, don't worry, I'll watch it and I'll see if you should watch it. And then after he was just like, don't watch it. And I tried to trust his judgment, and do you know what, to be fair, I've seen clips of it, so it's not like I'm totally in the dark, but I've seen bits with the Dalek and I've seen bits of dialogue with the Doctor and everything, and I'm not massively impressed. I kind of like the concept of it, but and to be fair, I've been watching other stuff and I've been busy with other things as well, so I've not really had time to get round to it, to be honest. There's only been a few. I've done a video recently on today actually, on Red Dwarf, and I've only just managed to finally catch up on all of that. And that's only because it's on Netflix. So I don't even know if...
Is it? I thought it got taken off Netflix.
No, it's still there. I mean, is Resolution still on iPlayer?
Yeah, they're all on iPlayer.
Oh, is it?
Doctor Who Series 1 to 11's on there now.
Oh, is it still on there? Oh, I thought it went after like a month.
No, they're keeping it on there as a box set. They're doing it a lot with a lot of BBC shows now. It's why... I think it's a bit of a silly thing. I think they should have definitely taken Series 11 off for a couple of months so people buy the DVDs and then bring it back on later.
Yeah,
I think keeping it on, it's really going to damage their sort of sales for DVDs and all that sort of thing. That being said, I did buy the Steelbook, so... but it's only because I'm collecting them. But yeah...
well, if it's still on there, I'll probably check it out then, because I thought it'd gone ages ago, so I was like, nah, I've missed a chance
it's all still on there, which is actually quite helpful in terms of making videos and stuff, because you can just go back and find whatever, and it's like, I'm sure there's a reference to something in a Doctor Who episode. I'll just quickly skim through it and check it out and all that sort of thing. It's, so good on them for doing that, but, it'll probably be at their own forfeit.
Series 11 isn't on Netflix yet, though, is it? Because I remember for ages they had pretty much every single episode except for the Doctor Falls. So they had all of Series 10 up to World Enough and Time, but not the Doctor Falls. It really did my head in. Because I was in the middle of watching it, I think.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, they've done stuff like that before where... I mean, Netflix usually do stuff like a year after anyway when they've got the license to and all that sort of thing. But that's probably just so that, obviously BBC iPlayer can get the initial traction to it. I wouldn't be surprised if Doctor Who disappears off Netflix soon, if it isn't, because, I mean... Generally, stuff like Disney Plus being made, all the Marvel stuff will be taken off, and then BBC will probably start taking the Doctor Who stuff off. I had to buy Torchwood on DVD just so I could start watching it, which I haven't yet. I still need to get onto that.
Have you not seen it at all?
Never. I've never got onto it, but I'm desperate to. No, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna try and do a few sort of reaction videos throughout, just the occasional one or two. But I'm looking forward to watching it for the first time, actually, because I watched Sarah Jane Adventures when I was younger. My dad, rightly thought that Torchwood probably wasn't appropriate for an 8-year-old.
Probably.
And obviously, I watched Class somehow when that came out. But I never got around to Torchwood, and obviously it wasn't on Netflix, BBC iPlayer, nothing like that. So I decided to got it on. I got it on DVD as a box set for my birthday. But yeah, but in terms of Resolution, I think it's an odd one. I like it personally, but I can't speak for everyone. But I really did enjoy it. I thought it brought something new to the Daleks in terms of in terms of looking at New Who. I think, and this is a bit of a hot take to some people, but I think it's the best Dalek story since Journey's End. I think Chibnall did better with the Dalek in Resolution than Moffat ever did, because I feel like he knows what he's doing with it a little bit more. I felt like it was one Dalek opposed to a fleet, and this one Dalek was actually killing people. Yeah. I think the Dalek in Resolution killed more than all of the Moffat-era Daleks combined, which is mad, but I think it's pretty accurate.
To be fair, the only Dalek story that I like in the Moffat era is Into the Dalek. That's literally the only one.
Okay, I think that's a possible exception, because I do love that episode, actually, and I think that it is really well done. I did watch that more recently as well. But I don't know, I think there was just something about Resolution. You have to tell me when you do watch it, because I'd love to hear what you actually think about it when you get around to it. But it really felt like a sort of... It didn't feel like... I can't say it with anything like Dalek or like Parting of the Ways or anything like that. Obviously not. But it felt more Russell T Davies era kind of Dalek stuff, which is why I'm looking forward to what kind of returning villains, what Chibnall's going to do with any returning villains, characters, all that sort of thing in the coming series. Because, we know that, I don't know if you've seen the Jadoon.
Yeah, they got the Mohawk now, haven't they?
Yeah, I don't know It's a funky little haircut. People genuinely are upset about it. People are like, have you not seen? It's hilarious. It's brilliant, because you can have these sort of things where people are going, well, we wanted a bit more of a balance between new and returning monsters in Series 11. We want more returning monsters for Series 12. Second they get announced, it's like, yeah, typical Chibnall ruining it with that hair. This episode's going to be crap. It's like, how do you know? You don't know that. Just because of hair. It's like, it baffles me.
I'm still annoyed at the 10th Doctor's hair in the 50th. So if I can get through that, then I'll be fine with Jadoon Mohawk. So
I think it works. I barely even noticed it when looking at the sound photos either.
Oh no, it's too distracting for me because it's just flat on his head, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing with that, Tennant?
Oh,
Jesus.
yeah, with Tennant, fair enough, I can accept that. Because, his doctor is notorious for having, like, sort of pointy up hair.
Yeah,
and instead they were like, so you see Matt Smith over there? We'll give you a bit of a Series 5 comb over. Come on, son.
Yeah, it was a bit
You know, it's like, what are you doing? So it was a bit odd.
Jadoon hair, I don't give a shit about, in case anyone wanted my hot take on that, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's such a basic thing. But I'm happy they're doing, they're bringing older stuff back. And I think as a choice, the Jadoon's a pretty decent choice, actually. Because it's not a monster, but it's not a good guy either. Because I think Smith and Jones is pretty good. I mean, it wasn't, like, incredible, but it was subtly good. Like, you can watch it and go, this is a pretty good episode, but then you just kind of forget about it. But, like, in terms of how it's utilised, the Jadoon aren't really villains, but they are the ones causing everyone to, like, almost die. But they're not doing it on purpose. It's like, it's kind of like it's an odd mix, but I'll be interested to see what they do with this. Because, again, Chibnall, I thought, did a decent job with the Daleks. I'll be interested to see what he does with the Jadoon.
The thing that caught me is I did see a few articles talking about, the villainous, monstrous rhinos are back, and I'm like, you didn't even watch the show, did you?
Yeah, just hyping it up. You want some clicks, perfectly fine. But yeah, they clearly, I mean, the Jadoon have never been like that. They're a bit sort of, they're a bit heavy-handed at times, but I wouldn't exactly call them villainous.
No.
Or monstrous or terrifying. Although, to be fair, if someone, humanoid shape with a big rhino head did show up at my house, I would probably run a mile, because that is terrifying.
But on my way, they're common. They're just everywhere, so...
But yeah, no. But there's not much else coming out about Series 12, which is interesting, because I thought Series 11 was quite tight-lipped, but Series 12, no, nothing.
Apart from the Jadoon, Jadoon, I literally don't know anything.
I mean, same. And I kind of try and report the sort of decent news and stuff. There's only been a couple of whispers about a sort of spy-themed episode.
Oh, okay. That could be interesting.
I think Jodie Whittaker's been seen in a sort of a black coat and trousers, so maybe that's like a tuxedo or something different like that, mixed, with her costume. So she's having a different costume for an episode, I think, but I think Doctor Who magazine accidentally leaked that one.
I like episodes like that. I like episodes where the Doctor randomly switches costumes. The only exception is Talons of Weng-Chiang, because Tom doesn't wear the scarf, and it annoys me because I love Tom's scarf. But apart from that, I always liked it when Capaldi put on like in what episode was it now? Mummy and the Orient Express, when he's wearing Tennant with the tuxedo, and I loved
Capaldi in Thin Ice, where he wore the top hat as well.
That was great. Gorgeous.
He looked brilliant in that. But yeah, stuff like that. I really hope they do it this series. I know they didn't do it with Series 11, but like when they go to a time period, like get the companions dressing up in that time period sort of clothing, Yeah. Because they never did that with Series 11 at all. I mean, like with Rosa, like they were just wearing the general sort of stuff. In the Witchfinders, no one picked up on the fact that they were wearing. And I know Martha didn't when she went to Shakespeare Code, but we try and forget about that. But
she did in Human Nature.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure every single companion has at some point dressed appropriate for the era. So obviously Rose in Unquiet Dead, Donna in Pfizer Pompeii. Did Amy actually?
I think they briefly in Power of Three, when they went back to like Henry VIII era, she put a dress on or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's a good point actually. I don't think Amy did very often.
No.
Especially not. I'm trying to think. Vincent and the Doctors, an example. Vampires in Venice. No, they're.
No, I don't think Amy did actually. Oh, maybe I'm wrong then. I'm pretty sure Clara did a few times.
Clara definitely
Bill
did. Yeah,
definitely did as well.
Yeah, of course, and but that's something that's kind of stuck out to me a little bit in Series 11. But it's like something minor. It's like I always look at the minor things. Like some people can complain about politics till their heart's content. I'll sit there and complain about the fact that the costumes don't match the historical period.
Well, that's the funny thing, because I just mentioned Talons of Weng-Chiang. Then people often go on about that episode for being, a bit racist with a white guy in Chinese makeup and whatnot. I'm moaning that Tom's not wearing his scarf. Like, this is the level of Doctor Who fan I am. I don't give a shit about any of that stuff, but if I don't have, a multicoloured scarf, then I'm miserable. So, to be fair, Jodie's wearing one in Resolution, actually, which annoyed me, because Tom should be the only one to wear one. But.
It was like 30 seconds at most. That was
great. All over the promotional material.
It was great promotional material, and everyone was like, I mean, especially some of the communities online were like, "Oh, she's wearing a scarf! Oh my god!" And all that sort of thing. Is she like, the second, because I think it starts out and they're looking at like intergalactic fireworks or something, and it's a fantastic CGI shot. But the second they get back to Sheffield, which is 30 seconds later, she just takes it off and just throws it away. It's just gone. Oh, okay, so that's gone for the rest of the episode. Brilliant.
I love when that happens, because you see all these articles just like, what does this scarf mean? Is it a reference to the Fourth Doctor? Is it support for the LGBT community? No, it's just there.
It's just a scarf.
It doesn't mean a thing.
I find it funny because it was like a Paul Smith scarf. I love the cosplayers and stuff going, right, okay, it's 90 quid, I don't care. 180 quid, I don't care, let's get it. It's going to be in Geordie's Christmas episode, or the New Year's episode, let's get it. I don't care how much it costs, let's just get it. And then she takes off for 30 seconds and I'm like, I want to die. I just think it's funny, because some people get, very touchy about that, understandably, because I think if you're going to spend that much, but I think it's just a shame they put it in the promotional material so much as well. And
yeah,
I still baffles me why they didn't put the Dalek on the DVD box, man. That still totally confuses me. I know for the original posters, fair enough, you're trying to hide it.
Yeah, that makes sense, but after,
like, yeah, if you're going to try and sell it in like Tesco's, I believe, Argos or something, stick your main villain on the cover.
To be fair, the Dalek looks shit, so that's probably why.
To be fair, yeah, it doesn't look great, but I like it as a sort of one-off design. I wish the Paradigm Daleks were one-off designs, but they're not, and stuff like that. But the interesting thing about this Dalek, I don't know if you saw this, but it didn't actually have anyone inside. It's the first ever Dalek.
Oh, it's remote control, isn't it?
Totally animatronic, yeah. So they used it just a couple of buttons and switches, and it was completely operated. I'm sure that the the rockets which propelled it into the sky weren't real, but yeah,
see that clip,
yeah, that's a bit odd. I didn't understand that at all, but
no.
There's a few things that don't hold up about that, but it's, it can be forgotten, such as the Daleks' immunity to bullets works when they're wearing Dalekanium, but not old rusted metal from a barn.
Good old Doctor Who logic.
Yeah, but that's just Doctor Who. Best line though, I think, generally from that episode, just finally a reference to what a rel actually is. I love that.
Oh, I think I did see that one as well. I always just thought they were seconds.
I always thought they were, but they've always kept it like to themselves about what a rel actually. I mean, they do count down in seconds anyway when they're talking about rels, and they are counting down in rels. It always is per second. But I do appreciate the fact that it's actually picked up upon, because I know it was a thing that was joked about recently. But there was a few things in Resolution I liked. There was a few things I didn't. They did reference UNIT coming back though.
I heard about this as well. Isn't it something to do with Brexit? Or...
Yeah, it was.
I saw people ranting about it on Twitter.
International funding has been cut short, meaning UNIT has been disbanded. That's what the line was, I think.
I hate that. I saw people ranting about it, and I haven't even seen it, but I'm ranting with them. Because, I mean, UNIT maybe isn't the most integral part to Doctor Who nowadays, but to just sort of dismiss it for the sake of a joke, like, that's a bit...
But I think the fact that 13 name dropped Kate Stewart, I think the fact that she did that and then called up UNIT and then all that sort of thing, I think, I think that's got to be some sort of intentional pull there for Series 12. I'll be surprised if UNIT doesn't get one mention in Series 12. I will honestly be surprised, because there's got to be something with it. Whether or not Tribunal's trying to do something else with it, maybe pulling down UNIT and then using key players of UNIT to create some sort of secret organisation or something like that, I don't know. But I don't know, I wouldn't mind something different, but I know what you mean, to just disband something that's a massive part of Doctor Who lore for the sake of a Brexit joke does feel a bit cheap. Yeah, but I mean, it is just what it is now. I mean, that's Doctor Who Series 11 for you in a nutshell.
Best series ever.
I mean, no, it really wasn't. But I don't think it was the worst, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think it was. I still personally think that that Series 9 was the worst one for me. Just because I think with Series 11, it's kind of, for me at least, it's just sort of very bland and vanilla, and not a lot happens. Whereas with Series 9, I can see the great ideas there just constantly getting fucked, and I'm just like, oh, you had so many good ideas in there. Like, there's a couple of episodes that I like, of course, but like Magician's Apprentice, I'm just like, why aren't you focusing on young Davros? Why are the planes in the sky? Why is Missy here? Why is Clara here? Why is the Doctor on a tank playing the guitar? Like, this is absolute fucking nonsense. It still angers me now.
No, But Series 9 is one of those ones, and I totally agree with what you mean in regards to Series 11. It is just like, it's just kind of in the middle. Like, it's not brilliant. It's not aggravatingly terrible. It's just meh. And that's it. That's all you can have for Series 11. It's just like, it's just kind of in the middle. It's kind of bland. There's a few, I mean, to be fair, like Rosa, Demons of the Punjab, and Resolution are the three that stuck out to me as like really good. And to me, I will remember those as regards to some of my favourites. Maybe not, in Resolution has more, positives and negatives as a mix, but I really like Rosa. And I thought Demons of the Punjab was brilliant, if not a bit bleak.
I really like Kablam.
Kablam was pretty good. That was a traditional type of Doctor Who story, though, wasn't it?
I liked it.
Yeah, it felt very. I don't know what it felt like, but it didn't feel like the rest of Series 11. It definitely felt quite separate, and I didn't actually mind the references as much as I thought I would.
No.
So that was all right, and I wouldn't mind a little bit more of that, because the thing is with Moffat, right? It's the same thing every time, especially with showrunners, right? I mean, when Russell T Davies was the showrunner of Doctor Who, there were many people who were going, no, get rid of him, next person, and then the second Moffat came in, everyone's like, oh, no, don't like him, and giving an excuse as to why we don't like Moffat, and then the second Moffat leaves, everyone's celebrating, and then Chibnall comes in, and everyone's like, he's the worst. It's like, every time there's someone, I mean, there always has to, the role of the showrunner for Doctor Who, after 55 years, at this point, part of that job description is to be criticised. Because at this point it just is. Because there's people now who are looking like going to like Moffat on Instagram and going like, "Please come back." I'm like, no, don't. I mean, Chibnall's, he's
those
not
same people 3 years ago were just like, get the fuck out of Doctor Who.
Exactly. And it's like some people can't see it, but it's like, why you said don't say that Moffat come back. Moffat, it was great for his time, and then he deteriorated. Not like not dead, but like his quality deteriorated quite a bit. Then it had a little spark around World Nothing Time. That was pretty good. It was actually not pretty good. That's my favourite episode of Doctor Who. But then he left, and that's that. And Chibnall, he's having it all. He's having the brunt of it all now. But I genuinely think Series 12 will be an improvement. I don't see how it can't be.
Well, hopefully he's paid attention to the criticism. I mean, the genuine criticism, not just not their
hot, but it doesn't seem like they're paying attention to that anyway. I mean, I'm pretty sure at the Resolution screening they had, apparently he actually said specifically like Yaz is going to play a bigger part in Series 12, which is great. I mean, you can't be much of a smaller part, can it? But yeah,
I forgot she was there half the time.
Yeah, more returning stuff from the past, and there was something else as well. But I think that I think they're the two main points of like, because Yaz barely did anything, and there wasn't, it's nice to have a balance between new and old, and we never got that balance in Series 11. It was great to have new villains, but you need to do something with those new villains where the new villains actually feel like they're doing better than some of the older villain episodes. Because the Pating, for example, in the Saranga Conundrum, it's like the Porg from Star Wars. It's just there to sell toys.
Well, there's a Funko of it coming out soon, isn't there?
Yeah, I saw that. So
who's buying that? Who's going to buy that?
I don't know. Probably people who like the Doctor Who Funko Pops. But the fact that we haven't got every Doctor yet, and we're getting Pating, is
actually
beyond
that's
that.
A very good point. Why have we not got Patrick Troughton, but we've got some fucking Stitch on meth from last year?
You're not wrong. It's ridiculous.
I'm going to email Funko and just be like, what the fuck are you doing?
I mean, to be fair though, Funko do release a lot of stuff. I mean, like, the stuff they come out with in regards to like other brands and stuff, I'm sure like even like a year before Rocketman came out, Elton John had his own toy line in Funko. It's like everyone and their mums has got a Funko figure now of themselves.
I've got like 6 of them now just looking at me.
I've got a little Bob Ross next to me, that's it. A little Bob Ross. That's all that's the extent of my Funko collection. But then again, I look to my left and I do see like 10 character options TARDISes, each with their own doctors, but so maybe I'm a little biased in that front. But yeah. I mean, I'm looking to the future with Doctor Who. I'm just praying, hopeful that Series 12 is good. When I look at Series 12 stuff, I'm just like, just forget about Series 11. Just continue and go. Just right, okay. What could they do now to improve it? And if they don't, so be it. If I had to say, I've sat through Series 7, I sat through Series 9. By definition, I've sat through some of the worst Doctor Who, especially in modern era. I think I can sit
some
through
classics.
Yeah, well, I've heard, but like it's, I'm pretty sure I can get through series 11. Series 11 isn't the worst, so I can get through it if I've got through worse before. So I'll get through that. If series 12 is a bit naff, it'll be a big shame and it'll be a big hit for the show. But I'll get through that and I'll watch series 13 and I'll keep watching it until I die probably, because I've been watching since I was 5 and I've not stopped. So I'm not going to stop now. I'm certainly not going to stop because of a casting decision, and I'm certainly not going to stop because of some so-called bloody politics agendas being pushed. On Twitter, you mentioned you'd started reading Scratchman.
Yes.
How are you finding that?
What am I up to now? I was reading some of it before. I think I'm up to chapter 14, so I don't know how far that's in. It's honestly so good. It really surprised me because I'm not somebody who reads books at all. And
I'm the same, really. So
yeah, because even the Harry Potter books I didn't read really.
No, same.
I think I read like a few of them, maybe, but I don't really read stuff. But it's just because I've been doing comic book reviews as well. I've been buying graphic novels, and I went into Waterstones the other day, and I saw it was on offer, so I was like, yeah, sod it, I'll pick it up. And it is just like reading a Tom Baker episode of Doctor Who. I mean, minor spoiler, but it's kind of from the perspective of the Fourth Doctor telling this story.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't just Tom that wrote it. I can't remember the name of the other guy who co-wrote it with him. But it feels as if it is the Fourth Doctor. They've nailed down the character. They've nailed down exactly his mannerisms, the way he talks. Even Sarah and Harry, like everything about it is just pure early Fourth Doctor era.
See, that's what I love about that, though, because I've never picked it up, and I'm hoping to pick it up in the future and get into that sort of thing. But there's so much Doctor Who content to try and sort of absorb at the moment that I'm just trying to get through, bits and bats. Obviously, Classic Who is a priority for me at the moment as well, and doing a bit of Big Finish and all that sort of thing as well. But when they announced it, I thought, oh, that's a Doctor Who novel written by the Doctor. That's great. Like Tom Baker writing a novel from the perspective of his Doctor, that's something so unique. I don't think that's ever happened with anything before, No. Someone writing their own TV character, in the perspective of that. That's just brilliant. And it reminds me, I could see Peter Capaldi doing that,
Yeah, I could as well. But the thing is, I don't know if you know, but this was written like way back in the 70s. I remember reading, I've known about this for years now, because I remember Doctor Who magazine did an article about it with Tom talking about how he came up with this idea and it was going to be a film. And they were going to have like Vincent Price in it and Twiggy for some reason, but they never got round to doing it because by the time they would have got round to filming it, Sarah Jane and Harry would have left. The budget would have been too much. It would have taken away time from filming the actual show and just so many other things that basically they couldn't make it. So for ages it's sort of just been in limbo, and there was talks of, I think maybe they were going to do an audio of it, or maybe they were going to do an animation or something. I don't know what they were going to do with it, but obviously it's turned out now as a book, and it's been like 40 odd years in the making, but it's been worth the wait. I'm enthralled with it at the minute. I really am.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that, because I might actually delve into that myself. I've recently read the Day of the Doctor Target novel. I thought that was pretty good.
Because I've heard there's a couple of interesting changes in certain places.
I'm trying to remember the certain things. Like, I mean, if Moffat tried to do that for the main show, people would crucify him.
Yeah.
I think the one that stuck out for me was the fact that he tried to just subtly slide in. I think you can't subtly do this, but he tried to subtly slide in that the first and second Doctor were colourblind, and that's why their eras were black and white.
Do you know what? I actually quite like that.
I don't.
I do. I think that's quite funny. I really think that is quite funny. And the funny thing is, my girlfriend, her favourite Doctor is Patrick Troughton. Like, to her, that is the Doctor. I told her that, expecting her to get angry about it and some sort of reaction. She found it hilarious. So if there's a diehard Patrick Troughton fan that finds it funny, then yeah. But I know I understand why it'd piss people off. But
I was just a bit like, that's yeah.
I don't know if it's Day of the Doctor, but I'm pretty sure there was it might not be that one, it might be a different one. But isn't there like some sort of description of a sex scene with River?
That's Day of the Doctor.
Is it? Yeah, that's the.
It's
the
not.
Thing that I was
it's not
of.
What it is. I mean, David Tennant's Doctor gets in a bath with River Song.
Right.
It's. But to be fair, reading Day of the Doctor as a novel generally, I think it's so Moffat. You can tell Moffat wrote it from the first page. I mean, the first chapter is Night of the Doctor, which is great. because I didn't expect that. I was like, oh right, okay, so it's going straight into this. I think it is anyway. I might be wrong on that front, but one of the chapters is Night of the Doctor. The whole it might be a bit of a giveaway, but some of there's sort of in between chapters, there's a sort of like monologue bits from like a certain person who you don't know. It's presumed to be the curator.
Okay.
So there's bits and bats from the perspective of the curator, which adds to that character, and you sort of get a little few more hints. There's a flashback sequence in the scene in the 11th hour where Matt Smith goes in the TARDIS and flies away from young Amy, and there's a scene where he's sort of looking in the mirror and he's remembering the War Doctor, and there's things like that. I mean, additions to, I mean, you know, maybe not the canon, but stuff like that. I'm just imagining. I'm going, oh god, that's so good. That's like a really clever idea. So Moffat, you know, again, every now and then Moffat can pull something good out of his magic endless hat. You know, it's just a shame that more recently some of the stuff he has pulled out is a bit naff. But in regards to the Day of the Doctor novel, I thoroughly enjoyed it. He completely rewrote the whole Gallifrey scene.
Oh wow, okay.
Which was odd, but I kind of liked it. It was just, it would have been impossible for the show to do. The idea would be that I think it was all the citizens of Gallifrey were like, would have been killed by the earthquakes or whatever caused by the shift from one universe to another.
Okay.
So the idea was that all the Doctors would land at certain points on Gallifrey, collect a population of people in the TARDIS, and help, obviously, drive Gallifrey through to another universe, drop the people off, and fly out again. I think something along those lines. Right. But Peter Capaldi shows up in the War Council room and has a few lines, and I thought, oh, you know, this is great. It's like, oh, you know, especially as well, I think, because this was between Twice Upon a Time and when Jodie Whittaker's first season came out, and I'm just sitting there in this like, oh god, I wish I'd seen Capaldi do this. I wish I'd had a little bit of this. But it's a decent little clever idea. There's a few odd things. I mean, it's, again, as I said, it's very Moffat. Like the whole thing's out of order. Because it's timey-wimey, and it has to mess. Yeah. Like, and the first chapter you read is like chapter 7.
Right.
In the book.
Sure. Of course it is.
But it's that sort of thing. It's like from, you know, but it's interesting because it's from the perspective of different versions of the Doctor all the way through.
Okay. That's quite cool.
It explores the idea of the Doctor having telepathy.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure Time Lords do have.
Yeah.
What do you mean, in general, or just with other Time Lords?
He sort of communicates with Kate Stewart.
Oh.
Through mind, because she's remembering her father dying, and the Doctor's kind of portraying himself into that and apologising, because he can sense she's thinking that and goes, yeah, I'm sorry about that. A bit odd, but again, it's been a while since I've read it, so I'll probably have to scrub up my knowledge with that one. But there's a few odd things like that. One of my favourite things was the Peter Cushing films being added. I love that.
Oh, isn't it like the movie posters or something?
Yeah, so the movie posters
that was supposed to be in the actual episode.
Yeah. But he didn't do it. I don't know what the reason was. Probably they couldn't get the rights.
Yeah, it was that they couldn't get it was too expensive to have the posters in there. But for me, that's canon to me in my head canon.
Yeah,
because it was supposed to happen. It should have happened. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, the idea was that in canon, the Doctor Who movies from Peter Cushing and all that sort of thing are retold adventures from the Doctor in universe. And apparently, like, the jacket was lent from the Doctor. Apparently, he's a big fan of the movie. Also, I think there's a couple of lines about it from Kate Stewart. And the worst bit that I hate is the guy, the old man on the door of the Black Archive.
Oh, him, yeah. Oh, yeah, first day or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Zygon Kate Stewart snaps his neck.
What?
And I was like, that's totally unneeded. It didn't need to happen. I was like, why are you doing that? Why did you do that? What Moffat? What did you gain with that?
No doubt, in some other sequel to this, Moffat will write a story where he's actually not dead, but he's come back from an alternate dimension and he's actually evil and he's a secret incarnation of the Master. Or
he just shows up at the end of Twice Upon a Time as a glass person.
Yeah, maybe he's the Watcher or something. I don't know. It's going to be some Moffat bullshit. He'll be back. They always are.
Yeah, totally. But I want to get Rose and read that because I want to see what Russell T Davies has managed to do as well. And
that one's quite good.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things, but like Mickey having like a sort of garage band and stuff like that. I'd love to explore that a little bit more as well. Because the Day of the Doctor did actually add quite a few things that I quite liked, that I would have loved to have seen on TV, but maybe weren't possible, or all that sort of thing. So I'm interested to see how Rose would do that as well, and obviously a few of the more modern ones. But I think they should do some more Target releases for the newer series. I'd absolutely love to see it, especially the good episodes. I wouldn't mind seeing World Enough and Time of the Doctor Falls, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that'd be quite good. Although, to be fair, I'd rather they did like the crap episodes, just because I want to see how they would try and... Yeah, how the hell would you do that in prose?
Oh my God.
That would be amazing.
Oh, that would be good though, because I'd like to see how they do that.
I want to hear how they describe the Absorbaloff leaping over the desk and running after Elton. I just want to imagine how they would write that word. Those words.
I'd love... Oh God, that's brilliant, but I love it. So moving on slightly, but keeping in with the theme of Doctor Who. So more recently, the BBC have had a big focus, and they have over the previous years anyway, on animating missing classic serials.
Yeah.
More recently, the Macra Terror and the upcoming the Faceless ones. What are your thoughts on that?
I love it. Because I don't know. Have you watched any 60s Who, or any of the stories that have an episode or two missing?
I haven't.
Well, before they did these animations, I don't know how aware of this anyone listening is, or how aware you are, but what they would do is, because back in the day, what people would do is they would record the audio off their TV, they clean that up, and then there's like still photos from the episode. So it's essentially like a slideshow of the episode.
These are the telesnaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're so hard to watch. They are really hard to watch. Like the other day I bought myself a copy of The Web of Fear, and I think only episode 3 or something like that is missing. And even though it's one episode, I'm just like, I can't watch this. It's like 25 minutes of just still pictures and the audio, and it's not amazing audio, and they're so hard to watch. So I'm so glad that we're actually getting these animations, because a lot of these 60s stories are so good, and because they're missing, people just don't care. And it's like with the Macra Terror, I reviewed that a while ago, and it's one of my favourite Troughton stories now. Before, I just didn't like it because of the telesnaps. But when you actually see movement and you see actual emotion on characters' faces, and the Macra actually look good in this as opposed to what they actually look like back in the 60s. But it's a really great thing that they're doing this, and I hope that there's people out there who weren't too keen on 60s Doctor Who and will go and actually check these out, because they are genuinely so good. I just wish that they'd do them, like they'd advertise them in black and white and then the colour's like an added thing, not the other way around. It's weird to me seeing Patrick Troughton and William Hartnell in full colour. They need to be in black and white. It's just bizarre. But no, they're brilliant, and I'm looking forward to the next one, and hopefully we get loads of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely where I stand on it. And I haven't seen many of the sort of early classic stories like 60s Who and all that sort of thing, but I just love the concept of them. The fact that the BBC are funding it as well, actively funding it. Like, the Macra Terror only just came out, and then the Faceless Ones trailer drops, and you're like, oh my God, they're really working at this. And to be honest with you, I really love that. I love that they're able to, I don't know, I just love that they're actually putting effort into it, because a lot of shows don't get this treatment.
No.
And I've always said with Doctor Who fans are spoilt.
Yeah,
spoiled,
we are. Well, to be fair,
content.
after so many years of, like, back in the day, you couldn't watch the repeats. There was no iPlayer. Like, you were talking about the Target novelizations. For a long time, if you wanted to like revisit an episode of Doctor Who, you had to read a Target novel. And then, of course, it was off the air for, like, however many years. So I think, finally, we're getting spoilt again with loads of stuff. We deserve it. I don't, because I wasn't born in the wilderness years. But the people who were, they deserve it.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. I think it is great that we're getting them. I did notice in the Faceless Ones trailer there was a big Magpie's electrical sign. Now, obviously, that's an addition from New Who. Yeah. How do you feel on that sort of thing? And maybe changing subtle things in the background to make it sort of in universe and with New Who stuff. How do you feel about that?
I don't really mind, to be honest. I mean, it's only just a Magpie electrical sign. I mean, it's from a crap episode anyway. I hate the idiots on them. But no, stuff like that doesn't really bother me. To me, it's kind of the exact same as referencing older stuff in newer episodes. It's just all part of the same universe. It doesn't. I mean, the Macra Terror, if I'm just like, this story was absolutely amazing, it was scary, it was funny, it was this, it was that, but they reference the Idiot's Lantern 1 out of 10. I'm not going to be like that. And I mean, there's probably somebody out there who's like that, but nah, I don't mind that stuff. It all just makes it feel more cohesive with the rest of the show, I think.
Yeah, totally. That's such a guy. I think as well, obviously, you're getting classic box set releases now on Blu-ray. How do you feel about those?
They're really cool. I've got one of them. I have the season 18 one, which my girlfriend kindly got for me.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really good. It's jam-packed full of stuff as well. And there's like special effects on episodes, or updated special effects. Loads of documentaries. They've even got the documentaries from the DVDs as well, which is quite cool because I liked a lot of them. And yeah, I'm interested to see. I mean, they're probably going to release all of Classic Who, and if they do that, that's great because I can't, for the life of me, find all of my DVDs. I don't know where they are. So if they're releasing absolutely every single season, that's perfect for me. Not for my wallet, but yeah, they're worth the money though.
Yeah.
I think they are really worth the money. 'Cause I think you were on about getting one of them, weren't you? Like 12,
I was going to.
18 and 19.
I think I'm very much a sort of a completist though, and I think that's the issue. Is that I'm looking at them and going, I could get one, but then there's that first one that came out. I think was it 12? Am I right in saying that?
Yeah.
And it was ultra rare now, and you can barely get your hands on it without forking over over 100 quid. And I'm like, I can't afford to just keep getting, because there's loads of classic seasons, and I'd love to, and that'd be for me, that'd be a perfect way of watching it. Just upgraded sound quality, picture, upgraded special effects, everything. I'd love that, but at the same time, it's just like, well, you know, I just kind of, if I want to watch the stories, I'll get the DVDs for like £1 in the CEX.
I know what you mean. I mean, for me, I'm not that much of a completist, at least with like Blu-rays or DVDs or whatever. So I'll just sort of pick and choose the ones that I like, because I mean, Sylvester's first season is fucking garbage, and I'm not paying like 30-40 quid for that. And I think the latest one that they've announced the other day was Collins.
Trial of a Time Lord.
Trial of a Time Lord. That's gash, and I've already got the box set of it anyway, so I don't really need to pay for that. So I can just pick and choose. I mean, season 18 I think is a very underrated season, so I definitely wanted that. Season 12 I think I have all the DVDs anyway, so I wasn't fussed. And I think the John Pertwee one, probably get that, maybe, I don't know. So for me, I think they're great. Yeah,
and I mean that's 2 this year. That's been announced so far. There might even be a third one.
Pretty quick, aren't they?
I mean, that one's coming out in, I don't know when it's coming out. I think it must be around September or something now, or October maybe. But I think there's, you know, they'll probably end up going to come to the point where there's going to be 3 a year, I think, which is just mad. But you know, good for them. Once again, the BBC funding stuff like this. The fact that people can complain is beyond me, because we get so much. And I think in regards to, you know, animation stuff, they're funding that. They're funding these Blu-ray box sets. They're even funding like custom-made promotional videos that aren't just trailers, but actually getting the cast members. I mean, I think it was the Third Doctor box set they did.
Oh,
and they had Joe Grant show up and have a little like 5-minute thing. That was great. Something little like that. And obviously the most recent one as well. They
Collins
had
in it.
Collins in an actual courtroom or something, and he's trying to sell the Blu-ray and stuff like that. I think is just great, and I love when they get interactive and kind of keep to that, because it's very, very easy for a show like Doctor Who to sometimes get a bit pre-focused on just kind of moving on, but it's got a rich history, and you should definitely pull from that sometimes, especially when it comes to, you know, re-releasing on Blu-ray as well. I personally love the Red Dwarf Blu-ray box set that they recently did. That was brilliant. So I'm glad, you know, in conjunction with Doctor Who, it's looking like the BBC are picking up all the things and kind of bumping them up a little bit. And I think especially with all the interviews and behind the scenes stuff, that's all great, really.
Yeah, I hope they do stuff like that for Blake 7 as well, because I know that's sort of, I mean, I've been talking about it recently, and I've been trying to get my girlfriend into it, which she actually quite likes, thank God, otherwise we'd be over. I'm joking, Becky, for listening. But yeah, no, so there's things like that, and they always do like older box sets of like some of the older classic comedies as well, don't they? So like Porridge and Only Fools and Horses, they get box sets and stuff. So I like that they're doing that. I like that they're not just like, yeah, here's some new shit that we barely put any effort into. Here's stuff that you actually love from your childhood. I really like that. I like the fact that they are. I mean, to be fair, the size of Doctor Who's fan base, especially because it's global now as well, bigger than it's ever been. You need to service all of these people, and you want to. I mean, because Doctor Who is essentially bigger on the inside. Oh, there's a TV show. Oh, there's more of the TV show from years ago. Oh, there's books. Oh, there's audios. Oh, there's video games. Oh, there's this. There's comics. There's that. There's everything. So the fact that they are, like you say, pumping so much money into it, it can only be a good thing for them, really. And that way you please everybody. Because if there's people who aren't too keen on the newer stuff, well, you've got modernised versions of the stuff that you do like. And if you don't like them, you've got books of original stories like Scratchman and whatever. So
exactly. And even stuff like, I think even like for newer viewers as well, people who jump on at Jodie Whittaker's first series, which honestly I'd recommend. I think at this point, before then, I don't know when you'd be able to jump on without having to understand,
probably 11th hour.
But I suppose that's a good shout, actually, yeah. But I think with Jodie Whittaker's first series, the fact that they leave the TARDIS until the second episode, they take time to show who the Doctor is, Sonic Screwdriver, the basics, TARDIS, the basics, and it takes them a full series before they even show a classic monster.
Yeah,
I think it's slow paced in its build up, but it'll be perfect for new viewers. And I know a lot of people who, I mean, my family included, it used to just be me and my dad and my brother who'd watch it, but my mum, my grandma, my granddad have been watching the last series, and it's mad because everyone's watching it and they're enjoying it because they actually understand it for once, And that they've been forced to watch it by me since Tenants, right? So the fact that they're actually finally understanding it's great for me because I can actually talk about it. To actually sit down like during the week with them and go, yeah, how did you find Sunday's Doctor? Pretty good. And we'll talk about it a little bit. But it's very accessible for new audiences. But it's even better for that. They can look at Jodie Whittaker's era and go, oh, this is a pretty good new TV show. What's come before it? Well, go back, Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, Capaldi, right? Go through, enjoy that, and then they'll go, oh, actually, and they'll start with Eccleston and go, oh, this is brilliant. It's even better. And they'll go through, and I think they'll become more of a fan. And I know a lot of people who actually have done that, especially online. There's a few people are saying, oh, I never watched, really, in previous years. I've just kind of jumped on for Jodie Whittaker and then went back because I quite enjoyed that. I thought, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Get like some new fans in. And, it is divisive, but it's divisive for diehard fans.
Yeah.
That's
I think you raised a very good point there about Series 11. It is a very good introduction to new fans, but I think that's one criticism that, obviously because I'm a long-term fan, that was a criticism of it for me, because it's just like, well, where's the TARDIS then? I mean, the fact that we didn't even have a title sequence in The Woman Who Fell to Earth,
that was a bit odd.
What?
That made it feel like a proper sort of drama. I wasn't sure how I felt about that when I first saw it. I thought, I
still don't like it. Especially because that theme is actually really good. That's one thing that I will hands up say. The theme
and the title sequence, I think, is
love
honestly perfection. I think it's brilliant.
I do love that title sequence, but
it's just like the '60s one, but done today.
Yeah, it's a nice blend of quite a few of them, actually. Which I appreciate it. I think that's one of the best things that Sagan Nakanola, is that right?
Sagan Nakanola, yeah.
It's one of the best things that he's done, I think.
But yeah, no, fantastic with that. I know what you mean though about that. But in regards to because Moffat tried to do that with the pilot, but you need to think about Series 10.
Why would you do that in your last series?
I know,
here's a reboot for you. Like, what?
Yeah, it's an odd choice, but either way, you try to do it right with the pilot. 4 or 5 episodes in, the Master's introduced again, and then there's another Master by the end of the series, and there's 3 generations of Cybermen, and there's, there's a Dalek, and then there's Ice Warriors, and then there's monks, whatever the frig they were, and then anything else, and just bashing back and forward. TARDIS, Nardole. Who's Nardole? But he's been in before, but you don't know him.
Why is he talking about this River Song woman? Who's that?
why did he drop a cog out of his trousers? What's wrong with him? Like stuff like that, and it's not like a reboot. And the point of Moffat's era of Doctor Who is that it does alienate viewers.
Yeah.
Especially ones who aren't long-term fans. Luckily, I was, and I'm going through it, and I'm going, this is all right, But can you imagine if someone started watching Doctor Who for the first time in like Series 9 or 10 or even 8?
Christ.
In Series 9, they would have been just like, he's on a planet with a big glass dome. It's just, what's the problem? I don't get it. All that sort of stuff. It's just like, whereas I feel like if Chibnall brought Gallifrey back, I don't think he should anytime soon. Just to point out, but if he did, I feel like he'd probably do it in a way which would actually be accessible for viewers who've never seen the show before. Whittaker's era.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny thing, actually, when you're saying about Moffat's era got convoluted. Because I remember I used to go around on a Sunday to like my grandparents, and they'd just be like, "Oh yeah, I watched Doctor Who. What was it about? Oh yeah, so it was this, and this. Got to series 6. Yeah, I watched it last night, Alex. What was that about? I honestly can't tell you. I don't know myself. Like, that's how bad this is getting." So
it did get to a point where it was just a bit like ridiculous, and I think I was really worried about series 10. Really worried about series 10. But thankfully, it wasn't bad. I don't think it was bad anyway. I thought series 10 was actually pretty solid. Most of it, like, especially towards the end, I thought it got dead good. Without Eaters of Light, we'll just forget about that. But, like, I think it's when it started with, like, a year off, and then the return of Dr. Mysterio, and I'm like, oh my god, what are they doing? What are they doing? And then even the teaser trailer for series 10 looked crap. It was when Johnson was announced, and I was like, okay, I'm interested.
I really wish that they didn't spoil that, though.
Same here.
I mean, what else could they do, though? Just like, nobody cares about Doctor Who now. Oh, look, John Sim, he's back. Oh, okay, I'm interested now. That's literally the only reason why they did it.
They could have just said there's a returning thing. I mean, it wouldn't have been as popular, obviously, but Series 10 still had the lowest viewers in New Who. So why did you even bother announcing it? That would have been great. I mean, for fans. And I'm very envious when I watch reaction videos, because I do. I think it's great to re-experience some things. And I get that with people who are watching Doctor Who for the first time on reactions, and they're watching through and they're getting all these shocks and surprises because they don't watch the trailers. Yeah. They don't see the news reports. They don't catch up with it. They just watch all the way through. So when people get to World Enough in Time, they absolutely just, their mind explodes, and it is so wonderful to see. And I love seeing it. I love seeing people react to that episode, especially when they don't know what's going on. And they're like, wait, John, he's back? What? But he can't, because that's going to be good. And I love that, because they just don't know. Whereas the second Razor appeared on screen, I looked at my dad and went, that's John Sim. He went, are you sure? I'm like, look at his face. It's John Sim.
Yeah, I thought it was blindingly obvious. I like his accent wasn't even that great either. I was just like,
hello, my dear.
Yeah, yeah.
Just odd.
Yeah. I mean, he's a good actor, but I was like, mate, come on.
He's a fantastic actor. I love him. I love him more in, Life on Mars than I do in Doctor Who, but I do like his master in Doctor Who. It's just a shame he's been dealt a few bad cards, really.
That's true. I met him not too long ago, actually, thinking about
it. I'm jealous of you, yeah. I watched that video. I shouldn't pretend to be dumb. Yeah, I did actually watch that. I am jealous of you. That's good.
Yeah, he was a weird, I'm trying to, when? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, like 3 months ago, yeah. Yeah, he was weird. I think, to be fair, I caught him at the end of the day. So he was obviously just, like when it's like 15 minutes and you're about to finish school or work or something, you're like, yeah, fucking hurry up. It was kind of like that.
Yeah. It's a shame.
But he wasn't like an arsehole or anything. But I just said to him, like, was there ever a conversation about, you coming back for Ashes to Ashes? And he was like, I wasn't in Ashes to Ashes. I was like, yeah, I know, but was there a conversation about you coming back? He was like, yeah, well, I wouldn't have done Series 3 of Life on Mars, so I kind of blackballed myself. And I was like, oh, fuck, okay. Oh, shit, he also said not to say anything. Well, fuck it, he's not going to be listening to this.
There you are. There's a hot scoop for Radio Mondas episode 2 there. You get on that news site, so you can contact me on my email, which is linked in the description. Get on it.
Yeah.
I'll send you an invoice in the next week. Yeah, no, but I don't mind that. I think conventions are a big thing, and I have my complaints, definitely. I think the prices really get to me. Yeah. When it becomes 95 quid to get a photo of Christopher Eccleston, I'm just like,
that is a piss take.
You're joking. I mean, like, I do like his Doctor for the one series he was in, but he's not exactly been the loveliest person of all time for the last 12 years, has he? So I don't know if I'd actually be. I don't know if I might. It's an odd one. I don't think I'd pay 95 quid to get a photo with anyone, because you don't really get to say hello to them for very much. You just get to say, shake the hand, say hello, and then get your photo and go.
It's a very quick thing, and they are frustrating. I mean, I've been to quite a few in the last few years, and I do enjoy them, because like fans come up to me, and one guy came up to me and was just like, "You're that guy from Wingy Media." I'm like,
"From Wingy Media?
I am Wingy Media. That is me."
That's great.
So, I mean. It was fine and everything, but it just tickled me that. So yeah, I like stuff like that, and I like walking around the stores, and I like, quite a few classic Doctor Who actors are there. But I was gutted the other week because I went to one in Birmingham, and the main reason why I went was to meet Paul Darrow, who is Avon in Blake 7, and he's appeared in Doctor Who as well. And he cancelled the night before, but I didn't realise this. So I was just like, oh, shit. I really wanted to meet him. He died 2 days later.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. So I was like, fuck. Like, and I was proper gutted then, because I was
my
like, not
gosh.
only did I miss him at this convention, and now I'll never get the chance to meet him again. So I was properly gutted. But I mean, I had a feeling it was like health reasons or something, because he was like 78 or something like that. But
Jesus.
yeah, so that was fun, and that, funnily enough, that was the last one that I went to. But I do like them. But you're right about the money. I'm not going to say which event, and I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to cause shit. I've already leaked something about John Sim. Allegedly, he allegedly said that. Edit that in before.
Just try and chop that up with you saying the word allegedly.
Yeah, he allegedly said that. Or did he? Who knows? Who's to say? I don't know. I didn't even meet him.
Digging and digging and digging.
It was actually Philip Glenister that said it. No, anyway. What was I saying now? Yeah, so there was this one convention that I went to, and in terms of money and stuff, they basically didn't deliver on what they promised, because I paid a bit extra for more things, and it wasn't delivered on. And then I was emailed later saying, oh, we're really sorry about this, like, we'll make sure for the next time we'll get you, a ticket for this price, and we'll get you a free ticket for this, and you'll get this and this and this. And then ages goes by, and I hear nothing else. And then the email again saying something like, oh, yeah, so we can give you like a 10% discount, that's what we're offering. And it's like, hang on, you said I could get like a free ticket before, and now you're changing your mind.
That's appalling, man.
Yeah, thieving bastards.
Jesus. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
That allegedly happened, by the way, just in case people are just like...
everything that's been mentioned in the last 10 minutes is allegedly happened. That might not have, but it might also not have.
I'm not even Wingy. Like, this is all alleged.
You're just a really good impersonator.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we?
Yeah. I don't know where I was. Yeah, we were talking about conventions and stuff. But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm looking at going to a couple. Well, one this year, which is the Doctor Who one. I think it's Thorpe. I think.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking into doing that because I heard good things about it last year. I know a lot of people went last year, but it was like the first one. So I thought, well, I'll wait and see. And I was very, very jealous of a lot of people's photos, so I was like, oh, I might go next year then. Yeah, so and it'll be the last thing I do before I end up going to uni, so it seems quite fitting. I might do it, just the weekend before I move. So I thought I might do that.
Manchester as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So
near my neck of the woods then.
Brilliant. Come along and say hi.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there'll be people there that, I mean, I know at the moment they've announced a few, but I think the only person who's there that I haven't met is Sylvester McCoy.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So I think Peter Davison's met him recently at a local convention, and
I thought you were going to say at your local then. Like, that would have been a turn up, wouldn't it? I'll have a pint of, bloody hell, that's the Doctor.
You're right. Yeah. No, and Paul McGann, David Bradley, and Colin Baker are the ones I've met. So, the Doctors, kind of, yeah.
Paul McGann's the last classic Doctor that I need to meet now. That's alive, obviously. I would try and meet John Pertwee, but that would be a bit
insensitive to his family.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm a really big fan. No, anyway.
Oh,
yeah, Paul was the last one that I need to meet now, and obviously the new series Doctors cost an arm and a leg, so I've not really got a chance to meet any of them.
I'm hoping to get, if we're in inverted commas, lucky and somehow catch one of them on a street, just walking past them.
Yeah.
Because I see a lot of those photos, like, hey, got a picture with David Tennant and Matt Smith here, who were just walking down this street. Oh, coincidence.
No way they just casually bumped into them. They've been stalking them for months. They've been planning their daily route. They know exactly when they go shopping. Yes. They've been living in their bushes on dry pot noodles and everything.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. But yeah, right. I think because we've had an hour there of just Doctor Who and conventions and stuff. So a big movie recently released under the name of Avengers End Game.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, it flew pretty much into my radar as well. Yeah. What did you think about it?
I've got to be honest, I think I prefer Infinity War.
Totally fair.
But it was really good. There was moments in it where, I mean, because I'm a comic book fan, I've grown up with a number of these characters, and so the big Avengers Assemble moment, I had a tear strolling down my face because I was just like, this is my childhood just unfolding in front of me, and it's like I was watching it with my girlfriend, and she was just like, the moment that it hit her wasn't when the music came in, it's when she saw Giant Man running, and because she loves Ant-Man and Paul Rudd, but when she saw that, she was like, fucking hell, this is epic. And then you see like this massive guy running and like all these different characters flying about and whatnot. It was brilliant, but the rest of the film is genuinely phenomenal. However, I mean, I did a video on this, and I think you tweeted about the thumbnail actually of spoilers for fucking things. And well, spoiler warning for Endgame, by the way.
Oh, if you haven't seen it and you want to, tough.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, but this is you can only go for so long. Come on. What were you going to say? Sorry.
Yeah, so I had the spoiler of Iron Man dying before I saw the film. Yeah, and what really pissed me off was because I was at work and I was posting something on Instagram, and I looked at a page that was not a post that wasn't relevant. Oh, I can't talk now. Wasn't relevant to Avengers in any way, shape, or form. It was this other like company that's in a similar industry as us, and obviously when you're scrolling through Instagram, you see a couple of comments. One of them was, "Oh yeah, that looks great, amazing." Underneath it, by the way, Iron Man dies. I'm like, "You're a fucking cunt." I was so angry. I literally had to go outside for a few minutes after that because I was just like, I can't deal with this. It was one of those moments, you know, like where your heart goes into your throat and you're like, oh my god. And look, I know it's just a movie and that's a bit of an overreaction, but I was just like, I've been looking forward to this for years. And then just to casually see it on something that isn't even relevant, I've been going out of my way to avoid this shit. And then some knobhead's just like, yeah, this happens.
I hate that. I saw it on release day, so I managed to avoid it this time. I've had that with both of the previous Star Wars films. I think Last Jedi and Force Awakens got spoiled for me beforehand.
Force Awakens got spoiled for me as well.
Yeah, I mean, spoiler alert for Force Awakens, even though it's been out for 4 years.
There's got to be one person that's like, oh, I've not watched it yet.
I can't believe Han Solo dies, and I had that spoiled for me because I was scrolling through, and it was a meme. It was a meme. It was a meme of Han Solo mid-stab.
Oh my god!
And I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. And The Last Jedi.
I had one for Rogue One as well. I think it was a picture of Suicide Squad, and then underneath was the Rogue One team, and it was like your Suicide Squad, my Suicide Squad, and I was like, oh right, yeah, they're all dead then.
Well, that's fair. I mean, to be fair, when it's a prequel to like something, and you've never heard of any of these characters,
yeah,
you're like,
they're obviously
all
going to be it.
Yeah. But it was The Last Jedi, and this is a story I've told before, and it gets me because it's a pain in the arse, really. But this was less than 24 hours after it came out. This was like the day after the midnight release. So I'm trying to think. So let's say it came out like midnight. This was the same day, like later on.
Yeah.
But I was going into school. Obviously hadn't seen it because I was at school. And some people who had seen the midnight release, I was talking to them and going, like, just don't tell me any spoilers, but just be like, okay, so is it good? Like, do we get to see these sort of certain things? Very, very basic, out there things, non-spoilery. And some idiot walks in to the common room and goes, "Oh, what are you talking about?" And I go, "Oh, we're just talking about Last Jedi. I'm not spoiling it or anything, just kind of talking it." And he goes, "Oh yeah, what do you think about Luke dying?" I'm like, I don't think I've ever said. Well, I'm not going to say it on the podcast here for my own good, but a certain phrase which involves the C word and the word freak as many times in the space of 1 minute. Never went back from that moment. A lot of people still look at me the same. Well, not anymore. I've left, but hey.
That's why they've left. Nothing to do with exams.
Oh yeah, just didn't want to spoil anything for me again. But yeah, I had to make sure for Endgame. And I didn't care about Infinity War. Now, this is the thing. Like, after, I think it was Civil War, I really wasn't keen on. And after that, other than Spider-Man, I didn't really watch many Marvel films. I was just kind of like, I'll go and see Infinity War as my sort of like last hurrah, because it's going to be a big one. It's an Avengers film, so I'll go and watch it. I'll see what it's like and all that sort of thing. But I'm not really anticipating anything. I went into it. I knew all the spoilers because I'd seen them on the YouTube comments. So, and I wasn't that bothered. I was going in like, well, whatever. I'm not gonna. But I didn't know about the snap.
Oh, okay.
So I knew Loki died. I knew Gamora died. I knew Vision died. I didn't know Thanos got all the stones, and I didn't know the snap happened. I didn't know that everyone died. So I'm sitting there, Captain Bloody Smug in the cinema, going, oh, yeah, all right, let's tick another one off the list. Oh, Vision, he's gone. Oh, yeah, that's it. I'm thinking... And then Thor's Stormbreaker comes down, stabs him in the chest, and go, oh, there we go. And then he snaps, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, didn't see this in the YouTube comments, what's happening here? And I instantly just fell in love with it. I mean, I was loving the film anyway, and that just topped it for me. And the final shot of Thanos sitting silently on that farm, just looking out into the distance, beautiful, with the music from Alan Silvestri. I think going into Endgame, I just didn't want anything spoiled. I was just so adamant that I didn't have it. So I made sure that I saw it on the night, on the biggest possible screen I could. Not just any old cinema screen, super screen. You know it's big when it's called super screen.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was it. Brilliant. On the night. Didn't have anything spoiled, thankfully. Because you never know. Because obviously the midnight release thing for Last Jedi, you can never be sure sometimes. And with Endgame, I didn't get it spoiled. And I was more than happy going into that experience not knowing what was going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I say, I had the Iron Man thing spoilt for me. And the moment where he's fighting Thanos, and then I was just like, oh, here we go. This is going to be it. And it was. But the rest of the film, there's so much more to it that I was just like, I don't even care. Like, I didn't see Black Widow dying at all. I couldn't have called that.
I was pretty sure, and I was pretty sure that was going to happen, but I wasn't. When they got there, I was like, it could be either of them. It honestly could be either of them at this point, and I don't know which one it's going to be out of the two of them. And the way they're fighting, I actually felt that sort of thing of like, oh god, which one's it going to be? And I thought, oh Jesus.
I like the way they did that though, because it was kind of like one of them. It's just like, oh, it's going to be them. Oh no, it's the other one. Like,
I know.
And
I
build it up, and I was just
kind of on edge.
Hawkeye then. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, total surprise. But I thought I sort of knew deep down. I thought he's got a family.
Yeah,
he's got a family.
That's why I thought he was going to die.
I know, but I thought she'll never let that happen. You've seen the connection before. I thought, yeah, she's gonna. But then again, the rules are kind of bendy on that. I thought it'd be a little bit unfortunate, because Black Widow killed herself. Black Widow killed herself, and then Red Skull's like, well, you don't get it. That wasn't a sacrifice, mate. She killed herself.
I was thinking that.
I was like, oh, that would have been quite awkward. And also, like, Nebula, man, tell them. I mean, she knew the whole time. She was like, are them two best friends? Yeah, send them to get the Soul Stone. That's a good idea. What? I mean, good plan, but Jesus Christ. I mean, come on.
What? Have you ever seen any of the How It Should Have Ended?
I've seen a few of them, but I've not seen too many. I mean, recently, I've not seen many. Because
they recently released an Endgame one, and they made a very good point. You know where Nebula gets captured? Why doesn't she just teleport away? Because she's got the thing. The bracelet to jump with the pin particles to jump back. Like, why is she still?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's a major plot hole, and that's actually, speaking of plot holes, that's something that I really don't like about Endgame is the fact that there is a lot. Like the rat, I think for me is the one where I'm just like, I really can't get on board with that. Even if
the real hero of Endgame,
I know,
come on.
Rat Man. But it probably is. Later on down the line, they'll reveal it was some superhero or something. I don't know. But yeah, that was the one where I was just like, I can't believe that. But then there's going to be those knobheads who are just like, oh, in a universe where there's a man made of iron fighting against a big purple guy with a glove of gems, like, you can't believe a rat. And I'm like, yeah, but in universe, that makes sense. Some random fucking rat and conveniently making the film happen. Like, I can't buy that. That is a bit too far, but...
Yeah. But in all fairness, I mean, the rat aside, with time travel stories, you're always going to get those sort of things, especially when you're going back on yourselves like that.
That's true.
I like their way of explaining it, is that it doesn't affect the future, you're just creating another universe. I don't mind that.
Yeah,
I really don't mind
like
that. There's a few things I wasn't sure on at first, but I think now I've just looked into it, I'm just like, yeah, I understand it. It's fine. And I've watched it again, and it makes sense. And I'll be going to the cinema to watch the re-release, which was actually announced today on the day of recording, which will be like 2-3 weeks ago for you guys. You guys have probably already seen the extended re-release. But
congratulations on Avengers beating Avatar.
Oh God, yeah, that might have happened by now. So yeah, cross your fingers. If it hasn't, get some tickets. Off you go. Go on, do it now. It's more important. Well, it's not more important. Finish this first, and then go. That's that. Yeah, have a bit of fun with us first.
That sounded a bit weird.
Yeah, it did. Well, I guess we'll just leave that in.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that'd be interesting. An extended version of Endgame. I mean, it's only going to be about 10 minutes extended.
Yeah, but it's still a 3-hour film already. Like,
I know.
How much more can you add?
But apparently, there's a nice Stan Lee tribute as a post-credit scene.
Oh, good. Yeah, that was a bittersweet moment as well, seeing his cameo, because I was just like, oh, that's his last one.
Yeah,
never yeah. Any more of these.
I looked at it with sadness. I was like, oh, it's a yeah, but he's never. That's it. Oh no. I really am interested to see what they're going to do with Far From Home in regards to Stanley Kubrick, because they could do like what Deadpool 2 did and have like a mural.
Yeah, I suppose that.
Because there's loads of them of like Iron Man in that film.
Yeah.
You may as well do one of Stan Lee as well. Just have one in the background or something. Because in like Deadpool 2, it was there for a brief shot where like Deadpool's parachuting down on like a highway and there's a building on the side which just gets cut off at the side of the screen with Stan Lee's face painted on it. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that.
Yeah, something like that definitely work.
In regards to Far From Home, what are your initial sort of thoughts going into that? Because that's like a month away now.
Yeah. I've got to be honest, I'm kind of worried about it.
Really?
Yeah, the way that the trailers have portrayed it, they're trying too hard, I think, or at least from the trailers, to make Peter Parker the next Iron Man. And I really don't like that, because, and I didn't like, the one thing that I really disliked about Spider-Man Homecoming was the way that the suit can do all this different stuff. Because I'm like, Spider-Man's not really a techie guy in the same sort of way as Iron Man. You know, he's very much just, he uses his brains, he builds his own web shooters, and he's got this suit. And that's it. He doesn't really rely on all these fancy gadgets or an AI whispering in his ear and a kill mode and all this sort of stuff. So I am worried that Marvel are going to go in the opposite direction and do, mini Iron Man type thing. And it's just not going to work. And it's not right for Spider-Man. For me personally, I mean, some people might like it. I mean, it might even still be good. I might even enjoy it. But for me, that's not how they should have gone about this next film, I think.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that after Homecoming, he kind of the moment where Tony says to him, "If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't wear it." I thought that's the direction they were going to go, and at the end, it's kind of the point that even in his pajamas, he saved the day, and he kind of realizes that. Whereas now, it's just like, yeah, I need to have all the tech, and I just don't like that.
But it's done by the same person, isn't it? As well, like the director and producer. I think it's the same group of people doing Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 in the MCU. And I feel like, to me, the way I perceive the next Iron Man, I perceive that to be a sort of metaphor for the next big figurehead of the MCU.
Yeah, I suppose.
Which I would totally agree, because Iron Man is, a big kind of thing, especially for Phase 1, 2, and 3 of the MCU. I think Spider-Man is a worthy candidate of the next couple of phases at least. He's a big character. Lots of people know him. There's a lot of story there to be told, and with a team behind these films like the MCU, you're not going to have, hopefully not going to have the problems that Sony had with the Spider-Man brand.
Yeah,
I genuinely feel that they could do a much better job with it, and I think they did with Homecoming. And I believe Far From Home was actually screened last night to their first audience, and there haven't been too many reactions, but from what I have heard, mind-blowing, like really good. Okay. So hopefully it's a step in the right direction. But I don't know. I feel there's been a lot of whispers and lots of rumours and lots of false leaks and a mixture of different things. But one thing I'm really crossing my fingers for is for the Avengers Tower to now be Oscorp Tower.
Oh yes. That's something that I was thinking in Homecoming, where they're like evacuating it. I was thinking,
who's bought it?
Yeah,
who's bought it? I mean, there's a character they're casting at the moment called the Benefactor.
Okay.
For a future film. Now, I don't know who that's meant to be, but the way it's described is a sort of businessman, sort of very confident but very studious, between sort of 30 to 50 years old, I think, and that's got to be Norman Osborn, hasn't it? Come on, it's got to be. I don't think he'll be in this film, but I think Oscorp Tower will be a thing.
There's got to be some sort of reference. I mean, they're practically building the Sinister Six as it is.
I mean,
like, you have the Vulture and the Scorpion.
People have talked about this before, though. I mean, in this world of the MCU, where it's not like Uncle Ben, who's like the main mentor for this version of Spider-Man, it's Tony Stark, and he died in... Tony Stark, the key figurehead of the MCU in Phase 1, 2, and 3, the sort of the head pointer of the Avengers, is a big tech kind of guru, playboy, billionaire, whatever. Who would be a better main villain for Spider-Man in Phase 4 than Norman Osborn? A billionaire scientist guy who owns that big tower and builds up his own team of sort of Dark Avengers, Sinister Six type thing. That, honestly, for me, will be perfect, because that is such a nice balance between the two. Because Norman Osborn is kind of like the dark version of Tony Stark, really, in regards to their job and title and all that stuff. They both put on a suit and do their thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
that would really work.
Norman Osborn sort of take centre stage for the next phase, at least. Are there any other kind of Spider-Man characters or general Marvel characters, good guys or bad guys, you'd actually like to see in Phase 4?
Well, I'd love to see Venom integrated somehow, because I really like that film, but I can't see how that'd work. I mean, the rumour is that Deadpool is going to make some sort of appearance soon, so I'd really want to see him. I mean, the Fantastic Four as well, now that Marvel have got the rights back, I really want to see them. I really want to see She-Hulk, to be honest. I really quite like that. Because I don't know what they're going to do with Bruce Banner Hulk now, so if you wanted a sort of replacement for that, just bring in She-Hulk, that'd work. And I don't know what they're doing with the Netflix characters. I don't know if
I think they've been cast off, at this point.
If you're going to reboot them, potentially make the Defenders into a movie, that could possibly work. I'm very curious to see what Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy are going to get up to as well, actually.
I'm really looking forward to that.
I'm really excited to see Sam Wilson Captain America.
Oh yeah, same. Absolutely, yeah. I think they'll do a great job with that. I'm not going to... stuff like the rumoured slate for the next couple of years, I think, is next year. They're definitely doing 2 Marvel films next year, opposed to 3. So they'll be doing Black Widow, will definitely be one of them, and the other one is either the Eternals or Shang-Chi. Whichever one it is, the other one will be in the year after. Either way, it's expanding the universe, it's building upon it. There's been lots of talks of casting and all that sort of thing, but for the Black Widow film, literally today they're filming in Budapest, so it's likely to see that'll probably be a prequel, probably going to have Hawkeye in it as well. Looking at the continuous references to Budapest.
Imagine if they film in Budapest and it has nothing to do with that story.
That would be insulting.
It really would, but I could see that happening as well, and I'd probably laugh, to be honest. I'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake. I kind of don't want them to explain Budapest, if I'm being honest. I kind of want that just left as, that's their little in-joke, that's their little thing. But I don't know, we'll have to see. Hopefully it's good. Because imagine, the thing that really pissed me off is I hate when you get like cool lines or like a throwaway piece of dialogue that's like a mystery, and then it's revealed. So an example of this would be Nick Fury in Captain Marvel. So what was it, in Winter Soldier or something, he said like, oh, last time I trusted somebody I lost an eye, and I'm like, then I see Captain Marvel and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake,
it's Cat.
Yeah,
it's Cat.
And I'm just like, are you fucking serious? Like, after that really epic line and moment in Winter Soldier, that's it, is it? Right.
Yeah,
cool.
It's just a bit tame, but I don't even know, to be honest with you. But yeah, no, that's good. So we've talked previously before again. Another film coming this year as part of the ever-changing and newly rearranging DC universe. We have the Joker movie, which is totally separate from any other DC film. And it also looks like Joaquin Phoenix has actually said he's only doing one film as well. So this looks like it's going to be a standalone thing, totally separate from anything else. The Joker film. We've got a trailer. We've heard a lot of information about it. It's been officially called R-rated. What are your thoughts so far?
I don't know, because for me the Joker's always been a character where I'm like, I want him a mystery. I want him as he's just insane. I don't necessarily want his origin and an explanation for it. But at the same time, it does look quite good, and I quite like the face makeup. It's grown on me a lot. It's definitely better than Jared Leto and all his tattoos and what have you. But
don't even get me started on him.
Yeah,
mess.
But so far so good. I am curious to see it, and I reckon it's going to be not the film that people are probably anticipating. I reckon it is going to be a really slow, drawn-out character piece more than anything.
Oh yeah,
I can't really see it being this.
But I think I'm anticipating that
running around. So I mean, well, if people are, then fair enough. And what I just said is horseshit. But that's kind of what I think it is.
Yeah.
And there's.
I don't think he'll be Joker until like at least halfway through the film. It'll probably be the latter half. He'll adopt the sort of makeup, but I don't think he'll ever be that definitive comic book Joker that we know and love. I think he'll start to appear on that, and then that sort of thing.
Yeah, potentially. But I mean, there's a scene in the trailer where I think it's Robert De Niro and he's like a talk show host, and there's a moment in The Dark Knight Returns where Joker goes on a TV show. So I'm thinking that scene is going to be how it plays out in The Dark Knight Returns.
Really hope so. Now, with it being R-rated as well, I think that's very possible.
Yeah, because that scene is brutal as well.
I just want to see that on screen with a because that would define him as the Joker for me. Like that would be enough. Him, and if you don't know, people who are listening at home, watch or read the comic. He smashes a mug on the desk and slits the presenter's neck open with it.
Yeah.
I know you don't see anything on the actual animated film, I don't think, but you just see the blood splatter go up the wall, and then him holding the bloody mug, and it's just, I mean, it's so dark, but it works so well for the Joker.
And then there's with the laughing gas after as well, isn't there?
Oh god, yeah, and no one makes it out alive, really, do they?
No.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. It seems like the idea of the Joker in this film is going to be like kind of a movement, a sort of ideology type thing. Yeah,
kind of like what they were going for with Batman in the Nolan trilogy, like he's a symbol type thing. And I reckon that could work quite well.
Yeah.
My computer's going mental. Never mind.
But yeah, no, I wouldn't mind seeing that sort of thing. I'm trying to think as well, because it's been a while since I've like watched the trailer, but I think the Killing Joke to me is definitely one of the like top comics, especially for the Joker of all time. I absolutely love that. And you know, you were saying before, I totally agree with you about you don't really want to know his backstory, but at the same time,
I must admit, I do quite like the Killing Joke. I mean, there's been multiple different versions about the Joker's origin and where he came from and all this sort of stuff. But as long as they don't say, "Yep, all the others are erased. This is the definite one," I don't mind.
No, I mean, I think this is just a total standalone thing, and I think if it works, I think Joaquin Phoenix could definitely be up for the Oscars. I definitely think that could be a possibility if he smashes it, which I think he could. To be honest with you, it doesn't seem like a very comic booky film. It seems like a very much kind of. It could have nothing to do with the Joker. You know what I mean? Like this, it's so separate from everything we know about the Joker that it's totally new, totally refreshing. I wouldn't mind seeing that. In the trailer, we show he has like an attachment with like a next door neighbor, like a sort of younger girl. He might have some sort of attraction to her, and obviously his mother as well. Like, can you imagine just both of them getting killed and that driving him insane? And I think the scene where he gets knocked on the ground in the subway as well. I reckon he's going to kill one of them. I don't know whether it's going to be in that scene or later on, but he's going to kill one of them, and I'm calling it right now. But I'm looking forward to it. In the other world of DC, Matt Reeves is making a trilogy of Batman films.
Yes, with Robert Pattinson as Batman.
And he's cast as official Batman. Now, how do you feel about that?
The thing is, right, a lot of people, I think, are in the same camp where they're just like, yeah, Robert Pattinson's actually a decent actor and he's not just idiot knobhead from Twilight. So I'm okay with it, because Robert Pattinson's done quite a lot of dark, grungy indie films, so I can easily see him playing Batman, to be honest.
Yeah, totally.
He's more than just Edward Cullen. And I'm excited for it. It's a shame that we don't have Ben Affleck anymore, because I genuinely did like his portrayal of Batman.
I wasn't too keen, but I think he should have had more of a chance to shine.
Yeah.
He didn't get enough, I don't think, and I think Justice League was a total mess anyway from production. That just shouldn't count as a fair stance. I think he was all right in Batman vs Superman, and I thought his tiny role in Suicide Squad probably made the film slightly better, if that's possible.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. But I mean, if he's not going to be around, then obviously we got this new one, and obviously he's going to be able to play him for a lot longer because he's a lot younger. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, this seems to be again totally separate from the Joker film, but totally separate from like Wonder Woman and Aquaman and Shazam and all the stuff we already know. Because they're continuing with that. They're doing a Shazam 2. They're probably doing an Aquaman 2 as well. Obviously, Wonder Woman, the new one's coming out this year as well. And then you've got Birds of Prey, and then probably eventually Batwoman, and then other stuff like that. With this, totally separate. Now, there's been a lot of stuff coming out about this recently about the film in regards to its villains, and there's been a few concerns about like sort of how many villains there are in it. Because I know a lot of people instantly, when there's a superhero film and they announce more than like 2 villains, people get really kind of stressed and like, oh, Spider-Man 3, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, and it's like, oh yeah, fair enough. I don't know if you've heard much about it, but like, how do you feel about generally that sort of side of things, especially with Batman more specifically?
I don't really mind, because I suppose it's how you do it. You know, they could literally say, oh yeah, we've got 10 different Batman villains appearing in it, but if you just see them in their cell in Arkham, or the film starts off in Arkham Asylum and he's just putting everyone back in the cell, and it's like a 5-minute fight scene, and you see him fighting off like, I don't know, Two-Face and Mr. Freeze and Penguin and whoever, then that's fine, and it's not really a big deal. So it's all about the execution, really.
Yes,
as long as there is one main protagonist, then that's fine.
Well, the ones that have been confirmed so far, which is mad to even say that there's even more than like 2 confirmed, but there's like 5 or 6 in chat. So there's Penguin has been confirmed for it.
Okay.
Catwoman.
Right.
Riddler.
Oh, okay.
Two-Face, Mad Hatter, and Firefly so far. It's very odd, but I feel like easily, and the way I look at it is the way they're trying to market this, and the way it sounds like they're trying to market it and go about it is, from the first film of the trilogy, you're going, okay, we're going to have a main villain and all that sort of thing. But, like, for example, Two-Face, Mad Hatter will probably be in cells in Arkham Asylum and probably have a couple of lines of dialogue at most. That sets it up for a bigger picture, though. Because if the second film's all about Two-Face, then you've already got your actor for that, and then you can go back and watch it, and it's all links in, and you're not just casting a character. It makes the universe feel big from what... I mean, if it's just a trilogy, and that's all it is, like a self-contained thing, totally separate to any of the other ones, have it as its own thing and really expand on that. Make it feel like Batman. Because Batman's notorious for having a big sort of rogues gallery.
Yeah.
Really play on that. There's been rumours about the Joker as well, and I don't know how I feel about that, because it's a different Joker, supposedly, and it's only literally like a couple of days ago, and it's rumour and speculation at this point, but there's whispers of Macaulay Culkin playing the Joker, but I don't know how I feel about that.
I heard Robin on Nightwing for him.
Yeah, well...
I can't see him playing the Joker.
Macaulay Culkin, I don't know.
He's probably too old to play Robin at this point, but I can't.
But he's a bit of a. I mean, he was a smackhead a few years ago, and you know, he's
work himself up a bit. Then I'm sorry.
But I think he just. I don't know. I feel like he looks the part. I think he could definitely put in some comic accurate Joker makeup. I think he could look the part. It's whether or not he can act the part as well. Because he's not had too many big acting, and that's my issue. Because you've got to have something to compare. But like, you know, I don't know how I'd feel about that. But the idea as well, I think, again, a few whispers are that it's going to be based on the sequel to Long Halloween, and I'm trying to remember, a bit of a fairy fan, I'm trying to remember what the title of that actually is.
Is it Nightfall?
It's something like that. I'm going to Google it quickly. Long Halloween sequel. Yeah, it'll come up straight away, surely. Dark Victory.
Oh, right. I was close enough.
Yeah, which then lends the idea, obviously, of Catwoman being in it, of Penguin being in it, Two-Face being in it, obviously. But then you've got the idea, well, will Robin be in this? Which Robin will it be? Will it be Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, Jason Todd? I don't know. Who knows at this point? But the way, like, the sort of fracturing this sort of mini sort of trilogy universe, and the way they're building it up, sounds to be very reminiscent to me of the Arkham games, which I think are some of the best Batman material in years. I think it's fantastic. Like, the way they've put them games together, and I love them growing up as well, but just especially, even if looking at Arkham Asylum, it's like the amount of villains in that game, and it's not even all of them, like Two-Face, and I don't even think Penguin shows up in that game. No, he doesn't. He shows up in Arkham City, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
And it's like
Arkham City.
as well as like Mr. Freeze and all that sort of thing. So like, there's a lot of villains in Arkham Asylum, but it's nowhere near all of them. And then you're bringing in more in them in City, and then obviously Arkham Knight as well. I think it is just, I love those games, and I think if you're going to get some, if you're going to get a trilogy of films similar to that of the Arkham games, the way they feel, from the get-go of Arkham Asylum, you're walking through and you're going, this is a universe I can tell that has all the villains in. Because the thing is, that's how I kind of felt with, and that's what I didn't really like about Batman vs Superman, is that version of Batman, I didn't feel like that version of Batman had fought the Joker or Harley Quinn or all these other characters. I mean, yeah, they're thrown in Suicide Squad and you get that feel there and then, but like, beyond that, I don't feel like that version of Batman really had that much of a rogues gallery, because he was only ever seen teaming up with other superheroes. He never had his own thing. What they should have done is Man of Steel, then a Batman film, then a Wonder Woman film, and then brought them all together with Batman vs Superman.
That would have made more sense.
Or maybe kept the Wonder Woman film until after Batman vs Superman. But just build up that character of Batman more first.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I mean, the thing is with Batman, he has got so many different villains as well. And if they did do a sort of, like you were saying, the Arkham game style, where it is like Gotham is closed off and it is just like Arkham City and Batman has to make his way through it, that could be really cool. I know a few years ago they were going to do a Green Arrow movie. I don't know how much you know about this, but it's called Escape from Supermax or something like that. So basically Oliver Queen gets arrested and put into a Supermax prison wrongly. He's falsely accused of something and he has to escape from it, but everybody else in this prison is all of the villains that he's helped put away, either by himself as Green Arrow or with the Justice League. So he has to make his way out of this, making some uneasy alliances with some of these people to get out and whatnot. That could be a really good Batman film as well. I mean, Green Arrow and Batman are kind of similar characters in terms of their origin and powers and whatnot, but again, something like that could be really, really interesting and would be a good way to, I suppose, have all these different villains appear but not make it feel like it's overly crammed and it's not too much. Yeah,
totally. No, I totally get what you mean. I think it's just, you got to get that, because I think with Spider-Man, with the experience with them and introducing too many villains at once, it does feel too overcrowded. It does feel like too much a lot of the time. Whereas with Batman, you can really explore the idea of a rogues gallery without having to, because again, Arkham Asylum is a fantastic key spot in the Batman universe, just to have villains in. And I love the idea of being able to introduce villains, because if you could have the main villain of the third Batman film could be in the first one, in Arkham Asylum. Yeah, same actor, same, that would really be something different, because it would connect the universe straight away. Because then you go to the next one and go, so which villain's going to be the main one next time? Is it going to be this, that, and the other? And also, I'm very much looking forward to seeing the Riddler.
Yeah,
it's about bloody time.
Who would you get, though? Because a lot of people
David Tennant.
Oh, really? Okay. A lot of people want Neil Patrick Harris, don't they?
Oh, that is a good shout, actually. Yeah. I don't know. I think what David Tennant is, he's got the look. He's also done Jessica Jones, and he did brilliant in that as well. He can do that creepy sort of clever, kind of in charge of the room type person. Whilst, David Tennant has got a fantastically wide acting range, from his roles in obviously Doctor Who and Broadchurch, and then Jessica Jones, and then other stuff he's done as well, where he's done like a thriller recently where he's like a psychopathic murderer. Like, he's done a wide range of roles, and I feel like, and I think he's actually said he'd be down to do the Riddler.
I can see that. I never actually thought of Tennant, but now that you've said it, I'm just like, yeah, okay, that could actually work. I just hope that they don't do a pantomime version of Riddler like they did in, what was it?
Oh God, I don't think they made that mistake again, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's my obviously concern. But you haven't got a big past to beat, have you? Really, with Jim Carrey?
True.
He just played himself, did Jim Carrey?
That's always.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I can't believe the Riddler's going to be in the Sonic film. It's mad. But yeah, no. He's that version was very odd and totally. But it totally sums up what like Joel Schumacher was trying to do with those Batman films. It's total just the weird gothic feel was totally lost, and it was just like bright neon lights and let's make it all weird and funky. Tim Burton
terrible.
Was great, and Joel Schumacher kind of just spat on that a little bit, especially with Batman and Robin. Christ.
Oh, I want to do a reaction to that or something on my channel. I don't know how I'm going to do it, because like with my Doctor Who reactions, they got copyrighted, so I don't know.
I know it's popular nowadays is doing commentary tracks, doing a highlights reel of a commentary, just sitting there and kind of just talking at it. We sit with a couple of mates and just watch the film with a couple of microphones and just. Yeah, I think that I've had a lot of comfort watching. I mean, I watched someone do a commentary of the Super Mario Brothers movie, and it's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. It's brilliant because they're just taking the piss out of every single thing, and I mean, there's loads of different things. Like one bit where I think it's just things that have dated really badly, like in the Mario film, the Twin Towers like disintegrate or something, and it's like, oh, gee, yikes! It's really bad, but stuff like that to poke fun at, and I mean, like. Especially with crap films, it's always a laugh. And Arnold Schwarzenegger in that film, oh my god, every single line is a porn.
That is. I remember watching that for the first time, and like as a kid, right. This is how I always gauge if something is good or not. If you thought it was shit when you're a kid, it's probably shit. Because when you're a kid, you're just like, oh my god, this is amazing, and then you watch it as an adult, and you're just like, yeah, this is rubbish, but nostalgia, so I like it. But with that, I'm just like, yeah, this is absolutely terrible. I'm bored, and I'm a kid. Like, I'm 8 years old, and I find this terrible. So there must be something seriously wrong with it. And it's just, I mean, Bane in that is just some dumb, mindless animal, and then he poison. Like, Uma Thurman's won an Oscar, I think. You wouldn't have thought it after seeing her poison Ivy. Christ almighty. I can't watch like Pulp Fiction or Kill Bill without seeing her now as poison Ivy, and it's such a shame, but oh well.
I mean, I've heard a lot of people are putting Dave Bautista up to be Bane for a new Batman film. I could see that.
I don't think he's tall enough. But
big wrestling background. Yeah, you could probably beef him up in CGI or something though. Yeah. But big wrestling bagged. He could play a very comic book Bane. What's sort of like Tom Hardy, where he's got, but you know, like I think he's got the general sort of size and look of someone who could be Bane, especially if they put a mask over their head. But then so could anyone who has muscles. So
yeah, that's true.
General sort of TV shows now. Recently, I've been quite enjoying. Oh, it's finished now, but I've loved Years and Years. Have you been watching that?
I haven't actually.
Oh, you're missing out. It's good. It's very clever. It's a bit like Black Mirror, but serialized. Just a 6-part series.
Oh, well, I know that Russell's written it, and my mum's been watching it, so I've caught glimpses of it and whatnot. But I'm not.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of them that I'll probably catch up on it at some point.
Yeah. Do you know much about it, or?
Yeah. No.
So it's like a sort of family drama, but it jumps forward, and by the end of the series, it's in 2029.
Okay.
So it kind of shows how the political landscape and technology sort of landscape and sort of everything like that, how it develops over 10 years. So it jumps forward 5 years in the first episode, and then after that, it's a year every episode. So it's kind of telling a story over the span of 10 years, and it's kind of clever. It's a different take, but again, I think Russell's definitely improved since his Doctor Who days. I mean, I love some of his Doctor Who stuff, but like comparing The End of Time to some of like Years and Years is like it's totally different level. Like, you know. But yeah, no, I know stuff you have watched, such as Afterlife.
Yeah.
And that's brilliant.
That was really good. I
fell in love with that. I mean, I've watched it all the way through 3 times.
Oh wow! Okay.
It's mad. It is great, and I do love Ricky Gervais' stuff anyway. I've seen him live doing stand-up. He's brilliant. But I think that was something totally different from what he'd done before.
It definitely is. I mean, I'm not even a massive fan of Ricky Gervais, to be honest. Like, I liked Extras, and I liked the Carl Pilkington stuff that he's done, like the Ricky Gervais show, and then obviously Idiot Abroad, and that's really it. But then obviously people started raving about Afterlife, so I was just like, yeah, why not? I'll check it out. And I just binged the entire thing in one night.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I love this. I just need to watch the next episode. I need to see what's going on and all this sort of stuff. And it's really engaging, and it's really thought provoking and funny at the same. It's very human.
It's a mix. That's the thing, isn't it? It is so human, and I love the fact because some of his lines in it, it's not like jokes that are written. It's like it's written as if you're sitting with him.
Yeah.
And he's saying these things and he's making you laugh. The prime example that I love is him saying he doesn't want to go to the pub because he knows something will annoy him, and it cuts to him at the pub and he's getting so annoyed by someone eating crisps, and that is me. And I sit there and I do that, and I'm like, God, this is funny because I know that I'm like this, and I'm sitting there like that fat slug eating just chomp like really loudly. It's disgusting.
Yeah, that was
I
really
love
funny.
that because I think it's relatable, but it's also kind of it's tragic. It's really sad as well. Like some of the stuff in there is fun. He's done a really good job at that. And I quite enjoyed Derek, which was a big departure from what he'd done before in regards to its sort of serious side. But Afterlife is another level of that. Life on Mars, Ashes to Ashes.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They are some of the best TV shows ever that the UK's
Watched them a
ever
few years
produced.
back, and I'm desperate to get through them all again this summer. I'm getting through Westworld first, and then I'm going to go to Life on Mars and Ashes to Ashes.
A lot of
yeah.
Life on Mars was actually filmed pretty close to me as well, near where I live, which is
Yeah,
quite frustrating. Purely because I remember that the police station that they use in Life on Mars is actually just like a council building, and my granddad at the time used to work across the road, so he used to like look over and see them all filming and just not realise what was actually happening. And it wasn't until after he was just like, "Oh, that's what it was." I was only like 10 or something at the time, so I couldn't watch it anyway because it was on at 9 o'clock and that was my bedtime. I was a very cool kid.
Yeah.
I'm joking, I was 18. But anyway, no. Yeah, they're really good. They are really,
Yeah,
really
they
good.
are. They're fantastic. I've loved it. I think, and I'm talking about filming and stuff there. I suppose around sort of central UK and sort of especially down south as well, there'll be a lot of stuff filming. Is there any other things that have kind of filmed around you that you've sort of seen or heard about locally? Or
I've actually seen something be filmed, and I can't remember what series it actually was, but I know it had Peter Kay in it, and it was set like in the Victorian era or something like that. It's from a fair few years ago now. Yeah, it would have been because it was in Manchester and I was at my old job. But yeah, so I was literally walking to the train station from work after it finished, and then I saw massive film crew, and there was just Peter Kay in like old Victorian clothes, and like they dressed the street up to look fairly similar. And I got really frustrated the other week because they were filming the Morbius movie with Matt Smith and Jared Leto, and that was in Manchester. And where I work is literally 10 minutes away from the city centre by train. So I was just like, I really just want to quit my job and go and spot Matt Smith and say hi. Like we were saying before, like randomly see him on the street. This was my chance to see the 11th
That was your
Doctor.
chance. That was your chance to be a bit of a stalker.
Yeah, but I mean, I kept checking Twitter. I was like, are they still filming this week? Maybe if I leave, at this time I can get there at that time, and then they'll still be filming it. But yeah, I just couldn't be asked in the end.
Fair enough.
But yeah, there's been a few things that are quite close to me, because Manchester especially, I think they filmed the first Captain America there. It doubles for New York a lot now, so there's always some sort of film crew around there. But I can't really think of too much. I mean, you're not too far away from where they filmed Series 11 though, aren't you? If I remember rightly.
I mean, it's still a while away. I mean, the only thing will be filmed around here that I've managed to spot actually at all is Vera, which again, not the most thrilling thing is it to catch. But I think it was walking down to the riverside, and they were literally on a boat filming, and like a sort of murder scene or something. And I was like, oh, let's just check that out. But I couldn't be asked to find it on TV because they're an hour and a half episodes. I can't be bothered to get through it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah. No, but in terms of Doctor Who, the more recent series now, I mean, Sheffield's still about 2.5 hours away from me.
All right.
So, I mean, it's still a bit of a journey. Because I remember for the premiere, we weren't late. No, we weren't late. We were early for the actual, like, when we were meant to be there. But I wanted to get there to see, like, because I know there was like a carpet side thing you could stand at.
Yeah.
And you could see the people going in. And I thought, oh, well, I'll go and see who's there, because I knew there were like a few people who like cosplayers and stuff on Twitter, and there was a few people who there's a couple of people who were on YouTube who were there as well. I thought, I'll go and have a look and say hello and all that sort of thing. But we were to get there for that, we were bloody late, and I think that was because the traffic around Sheffield's awful as well. It took, a good half an hour of the journey was actually getting from one end of Sheffield to the other. It was horrendous, but. Hey, that's what you get, I suppose. But But yeah, no, I'm trying to think. There's nothing really that films near us, unless it's like a sort of documentary type thing. I mean, they tried to film. I don't remember like Educating Yorkshire and that.
Oh yeah.
They actually asked our school if they could film there, but our head teacher was so offended the fact that they thought our school was crap enough to be on that, to show some interesting scenes. They refused, unfortunately.
Oh, I'd be gutted, because you'd act up then, wouldn't you?
I was in about year 8 at the time, so you know what, looking back on it, thankfully, because, I mean, I know what my hair was like in year 8, and I do not want that on sort of record on BBC, so, yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that really kind of came about. Oh, and there's an old school building that merged with our current school, well, not current school, the one that I was at, an old school building which is used for loads of like CBBC shows and that. They actually just use, because it's an old building that isn't used anymore, but they rent it out to like film studios to use as like makeshift schools. Okay. So there's a couple of CBBC shows did filming stuff there, so that was quite interesting, but nothing major like films or anything like that.
Speaking of CBBC, sorry to interrupt, I've just thought do you remember Prank Patrol?
I do, yeah.
They filmed that. Yeah, they filmed that in Stockport. So in the town centre of Stockport, do you remember the ninjas that used to pop out all the time?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Stockport town centre. I remember once because they filmed it in a park that is literally 5 minutes away from me, like where they have the shots of the van coming out. It was literally my mum. I fucking hate her for this. She knew they filmed it there, but she wouldn't tell me because I'd make her go all the way to this park and then wait around and watch them film it. I was well annoyed.
Wow.
But yeah, I used to love Prank Patrol. That was a good show.
That takes me back. That actually, yeah. No, I think. But I think other than that, I think Infinity War filmed near me a little bit. They filmed the bit that's meant to be in Scotland was actually filmed in Durham.
Oh right, okay. Because
the roads they just sort of curl up. They're like weird, but yeah, I recognised it. Although, after being there multiple times, I found out the horrible way that the advertisement in the film is very incorrect. They do not deep fry any kebabs anywhere near Durham, so that's quite unfortunate.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be Scotland, though, to be fair.
It's fair point. Fair point, yeah. But it means you put up a poster for that, and the shop that they put it in didn't even think, wait a minute, we could profit off this. Deep frying kebab, why didn't we think of that? But no, they didn't, so, oh well. But yeah, the cathedral that they filmed out was Durham Cathedral, I think, opposed to being in Scotland, but I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it is. Anyway, we're coming to a close of the podcast here, almost 2 hours now, which is insane, so thank you so much for sticking around. Right. Yourself and obviously the viewers as well. If you managed to sit through us two nerds chatting for 2 hours, good for you. You deserve a medal.
You're not getting one, but
you deserve one. You're not I can't afford that. In terms of your YouTube,
yes,
in the future, what kind of stuff you got planned, if anything?
No, that's it. No more videos. That'd be a bit of a bombshell, wouldn't it? There's your title: Wingy quitting YouTube.
Oh, that
question mark. There you go. See, you can have that. People have to listen now because they've got to wait until this bit. So I've sorted you out for views there as well. Haha.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, but what kind of things have you got? Anything that you're sort of planning or putting forward?
There's a couple of things that I'm planning. I want to bring my podcast back. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I want to carry on with the comic book reviews because, my girlfriend lives down south, like I said, so I travel a lot and train Wi-Fi is fucking terrible. So I was just like, I don't want to waste data either. I've got a lot of comic books stacked up. I'll just read them. And then I just thought, you know what, I may as well review them. So, yeah, the Why You Should Watch series, I want to do more of them because there's lots of things that I like that I don't think too many people know about. I mean, Blake 7 was kind of the main one. And yeah, like I've got a few other ideas as well, like skits and sketches, but they're a bit more complicated to do and a bit more to plan out as well. So we'll have to see how they go. I really want to do them at some point though, because I really want to do more stuff of me as Tom and like do a parody.
It's brilliant. I mean, you do a brilliant Tom Baker, and I think
if you say so.
And I just I mean that's why I asked you to come on that thing I did like almost be a year ago now, over a year ago now. I think when I did my Day of the Doctor review,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, I haven't got any Tom Baker stuff, and I can't do a Tom Baker impression to save my life. So, hey, do you fancy coming on and making a cameo? And like, yeah, that's fine. That's good. I think that worked quite well. So,
'Cause I think, didn't you just say, "Oh yeah, I just need your voice"? And I was like, "Mate, I'll dress up." Like, I'll do
I was
everything.
kind of like, I mean, yeah, just I knew you can do a damn fine impression, and you're like, yeah, but I'll happily dress up and get in front of a camera. I'm like, hey, be my guest, do it. It's brilliant. And that came out really well. And I know a lot of people actually spotted that as well. So that was fun. It was fun and great. But yeah, no. So yeah, definitely do some more of Tom in the future, because that's something that works dead well, I think. Anyway,
I love the idea of like my favourite Doctor, but me portraying him as an absolute bellend. I don't know what it is. I just find it so funny, and just because I think Tom himself is such an exaggerated character that to see an exaggerated version of an already exaggerated person is just really funny. So I really want to do more stuff like that.
Absolutely, yeah, go for it. Anyway, I think I'm coming quite to a close here. But yeah, for those who are still listening, because there'll definitely be at least one ears, at least me in editing, at least,
Yeah, I'll listen to the full thing.
Subscribe to Wingy Media. He does some great content, and he definitely needs some more stuff. So get over there. Get over there. Give him some support. Watch his videos on, what stuff you should be watching. Because, I mean, you've got great taste, mate. So
far.
Get on that. Yeah, well, you've got a good track record. Let's see where that goes.
I'm going to balls it up. I just know it.
But yeah, go check out his channel. The link should be in the description. It'll be probably on the end card as well, so you can press on the. YouTube's lovely sometimes when it wants to be. So press on the lovely little circle at the end over the credits, and it'll take you to his channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it from me. You know all the stuff about this, so leave a like, comment, subscribe with notifications on, all that sort of stuff, and the Patreon and all that sort of lovely stuff, and Twitter and Instagram, and we're lovely nowadays, YouTubers, aren't we? All in the description below. I'll see you all later. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.